Hello and welcome to the season 5, I think it is now, a premiere of the Uncut Network podcast. And as has become a tradition now, the first episode of every season is a Frightfest special. The first one, which I actually was there in person, so that's a nice little quirk. And to do this episode, I have been joined by Kat. Hello there.
Hello.
Sarah.
Good evening.
And Faye.
Hello.
And there's a loaded question here in 2 layers. I'm going to ask how you are now and how you were after sort of Frightfest finished, so... Because there's 2 very different states of being there, you assume.
I have a voice again. Hooray! Did not have a voice before. I have a voice again now.
I have more money than I did at Frightfest.
I guess my main thing is I'm a lot more awake than I was at the end of Frightfest.
Just on that, is it okay if you kind of have a little nap in some of the movies? Is that sort of standard protocol?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can never let myself kind of full nap in a film because I'm like, no, I'm here, I'm watching this film, I'm gonna watch it. But I definitely have a few kind of like moments.
How old are you, Sarah?
Pardon?
How old are you?
I am actually going to be turning 38 next month.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Why?
I thought you were in your 20s, and I was just going to say to you, that will come with age. The napping will come with age. It always gets you.
Oh no, I just don't. I am my age. I just don't look it. But
You've got good stamina if you're staying awake in films because I'm constantly napping. I can't help it.
Oh, it's pure stubbornness, really. And in one case, I kind of surreptitiously got out my fidget cube and was kind of like using that to help me stay awake. But unfortunately, the person in front of me could hear it, and I felt like such an arsehole.
I'm sure they wouldn't have minded. I'm sure it was fine. They didn't say anything to you, did they?
Oh no, he did. That's the thing. It was like afterwards he said. Was that you with the fidget cube? And I was like, oh my god, I am so sorry.
Oh, forget them. Worse things have happened,
True.
Especially during what was the film, Cat? Oh gosh, R.I.P.D. The famous
R.I.P.D. is a film, but yeah.
That is a film that exists.
Oh, worse going on then. Yeah.
Okay, that's very mysterious sounding, but I won't prod.
It is, Rob. It is. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a one-man band good time from some rando. Well, no, it wasn't, was it? Sorry, it was a shared thing. It was a two-way band. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm seeing where we're going with that now. Yeah. I thought that was the music festivals that where that sort of thing happens, but no, film festivals too. Okay. So the way we're going to work this is we're going to go around the table 3 times and just pick some of our favourite films from the event. Really, it's pretty straightforward. We've done this the pool way in previous years, but I think last year we hit the nail on the head and just give you a little taster rather than offering people, here is every single movie that played, be overwhelmed by this information. So that's not the right way to go. So we'll start with the person who inevitably has seen the most movies from this year's event, and that will be Kat. So all the pressure is on yourself there.
I mean, there's no pressure. I mean, I'm going to talk about a film which I'm reasonably certain we all like. That was Redux Redux by Kevin Manus. It is I think it's the 3rd feature. It comes after The Block Island Sound, which, you know, I think it was on Netflix. I don't think it is anymore, but it's definitely still available if you look for it. But Redux Redux is a film I saw at South by Southwest, adored, and was at Glasgow Fright Fest, and basically spent the entire weekend just saying Redux Redux to all of the Fright Fest directors whenever I saw them, and I think I incepted it into their brain, and then they selected it, and then I was fortunate enough to also get to host a screening, which pleased me no end, because this film I'm a massive fan of The Terminator, and I think I've actually spoke about Redux Redux on our last night. I'm a massive fan of The Terminator 2. This film has all of those vibes, but it's set in the multiverse, but not a hot dog fingered multiverse. It's a multiverse where somebody smokes or doesn't smoke. And it's about a woman who is basically going across the multiverse, tracking down and killing the man who murdered her daughter. And along the way, she kind of intercepts one of the killer's next victims and saves her. And then the two kind of join forces to go on to go on her next bout of revenge. But along the way, kind of find each other, and there's lots of like deep and meaningful drama, relationship dynamic, lo-fi, sci-fi. Yeah, it was just everything that I love in a film, all bundled into one.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to go down as the film of the event, really. This year's big movie. But Faye, Cat. Sarah, sorry. Names. I'm not good at names. It's been a long week.
It's the cat ears. He's confusing you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sarah and Faye, what were your feelings on Redux Redux?
I loved it. It was fantastic. So I wasn't aware until going into it and just before that it was by the Block Island Sound guys. And I liked Block Island Sound, but I didn't love it. And I was a bit like, oh, maybe we're going to have a bit of an issue here. But no, it blew me away. It was the film of the festival. So thank you, Kat, for getting it, because it's all on your shoulders. You got it.
Yeah, no, I it was kind of like a case of that was one of the few films that I'd kind of heard a bit of buzz about before the festival. So I was like, all right, I'll give this a try. And then yeah, just so good, just really emotional, really like the world building is like, it's lots of little small things. And I do enjoy, because, it's like whenever we have multiverse media, it's always like really crazy weird changes from each universe, but in this one it's literally just like the mug is blue or the mug is red that she gets served at the diner, like it's just, or like you said, smoking or not smoking, it's all lots of little things kind of thing. It's like it's a universe where instead of a Switch I own a Steam Deck, or probably, but
I do like it as well that she's not the only one involved. So there are other people who were aware of the time travel as well. And it is considered quite a lucrative business, to the point where she gets, held up for a machine.
Yeah, and that's kind of really interesting, because it also, like, apparently sort of her reality is the only one that has perfected this kind of multiversal travel, which is it's really kind of curious. And although I do think if you kind of like really start thinking a lot about the kind of essentially how it all works, it maybe doesn't hold up a bit, but it's really just a facilitator for the characters, and that's really great, especially when she does come across this other victim of the killer and starts bringing her along. And we do get, like, that is when we do get a bit of the explanation about it, but we also just essentially, she wants to save this girl from becoming like her, because she has just gotten stuck in this constant loop of enacting vicious revenge against this guy. And fair enough, because killed her daughter, and we do get some really visceral montages of the ways that she has killed this guy, which it is satisfying to see, but you also know that it's just kind of like a case of, no matter how many times she do this, it isn't making anything better, it isn't helping her, it isn't really kind of fixing anything.
Which, if you boil it down to its simplicity, is, the crux of insanity. Nothing's changing. You are literally just punishing yourself. And I think that's kind of the whole message of it, because are we doing spoilers on this pod? Is that all right?
Within reason. I think that you can really, really spoil this. But,
I won't really spoil the ending. It's not like there's a twist or anything, but I won't really spoil the ending, because I think, I just think the ending's a really good message in terms of how people deal with grief, whether it be in this universe or a multi-universe. Sorry, multiverse. I'm not down with the kids. Sorry.
I really love how they do it as well. It's nothing fancy. She basically jumps from universe to universe in, I don't know how you describe it, a fridge, basically.
It's very unglamorous kind of thing. Like it's utilitarian. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, and it's very rough, and she's kind of like using like hiding out in a motel, and she's got like a bunch of keys for rental vans so that she can move this device around and just kind of get where she's going. But of course, you know, if you she does kind of run into a bit of trouble in a few places, which necessitates her having to get out of there as quick as possible.
I really enjoyed those chases. They were fantastic.
Mm.
To the point where
it's like a low budget
every time.
Yeah.
It's like a low budget, you think the action's going to be pretty poor, but no, I mean, the scenarios that they have that chase away from the police, where I think she just does it in the diner, is right in front of everybody.
Yeah, like the guy just walks out and she just lays him down, and it's like, and on one hand you're like, yeah, fair enough. On the other hand, she's like, oh, this is going to be a pickle.
I mean, what she does in those scenes essentially is she will kill him and then go back to the house to see if anything's changed. There could have been multiple opportunities or possibilities where it had changed, but because she'd had to get away, she wouldn't have known. So in the diner, she shoots him, gets in, she doesn't get a chance to check home. It could have changed at that point. That could have been the one. But she never knew.
Who knows? It is kind of like I mean, she says that she's done this thousands of times.
She's wore out the battery of her actual multiverse machine. She's done it that much.
And that thing's meant to be like good for a good few thousand jumps or something, they said. And yeah, it does have a lot of questions which you don't get answers to, but it doesn't, I wouldn't say it really bothers you, like it, because again, it is all just kind of it's kind of all in the name of the characters and what they're going through.
It's the question as well, if you want it to be authentic. I don't know if any of you have seen Primer, and Primer is very boring, but it's probably scientific accurate, but it's quite droll, we'll say.
I think about how much Primer confused me at least once a month. And I said, should I go back and watch it again? And like, don't put yourself through that, because there's no point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it works or not. It's just a really good character drama and very entertaining.
Yeah.
I think.
And it gets a bit quite road movie-ish for a little bit. Like they're kind of like
not buddy comedy, but
no.
Buddy film,
Anything to add to that, Kat? That kind of.
I mean, obviously, the road movie aspect is one of the Terminator things, because both Terminator and Terminator 2 are both road movies. There is a lot more DNA, which I will talk to anybody about for hours offline. But I'm just pleased that it went down so well, because historically, that Sunday night late night movie, I mean, it's an early late night, but that's a film that most people skip because they want to get primed and ready for the karaoke after party. So the fact that so many people were in enough to stay and watch it, and then that they felt it was worth their time was just really lovely.
Yeah, I did think that was a bit of an odd slot for it. Like kind of like essentially because of that, but no, I mean it was pretty full in there, I'd say, in the main screen for it, and everyone seemed to be really into it. Like it wasn't kind of like a big kind of like reaction movie, but you definitely got the vibe that everyone was really into it.
Yes. So jumping to next, Sarah, your first pick.
Well, I was thinking, how about because I think the other one of mine, I think Faye's going to talk about. So I was going to talk about one I really enjoyed, which was Tomb Watcher. That was, I believe, Sunday afternoon, and that's a Thai film. And the before the film, the producer came out and she said that the story of it was actually written by her grandmother years ago, and that it had actually been a soap opera, a fairly popular soap opera in Thailand, and so now, like, she was bringing it to the screen with her grandmother's blessing as a movie. And the basic story is this wealthy businesswoman, she dies, and she sort of stipulates that her husband has to live with her body in the house for 100 days. But the husband has, who was his mistress is now his girlfriend, and she has to live with the dead body of his wife as well. And it might surprise you to learn that doesn't go very well. And it kind of like, it is a little over the top in places, but that's almost kind of part of the charm of it, because because of that kind of soap opera legacy to it. I mean, when the wife dies, like, it's never really said what she dies of, so it's just basically dramatic. She dies of dramatic convenience. And and the wife's in like a glass coffin in the house, in like this really beautiful dress, and it's like all very over the top.
What's going on there? How are they keeping her in perfect condition for 100 days?
Well, that's the thing. It's not perfect condition, because there are definitely times later on when the body starts looking a bit funky. But you also do see at one point the husband putting ice into the coffin, I guess, to help.
You also seem to do more than ice, but whether that's a dream or not, it's never.
But this house is in the middle of the woods, kind of thing. It's a perfect kind of like spooky setup, and the girlfriend, it starts like experiencing things. She starts seeing things, and of course the boyfriend doesn't believe her, because they never do. So it's kind of like your standard sort of like ghostly revenge sort of story, but I don't know, it was just kind of like it was just enjoyable to me. It sort of like, it very much kind of reminded me of some of the films I used to watch and rent when I was getting into Asian horror as a teenager, and it's actually going to be on Netflix soon. So if anyone missed it at Frightfest, yes, exactly. So it's a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always funny with that trope of the girlfriend or the wife is going through some spooky shenanigans, and the husband says, "No, you're just going crazy."
Right? it's like, I mean, if I was with someone and they were normally completely sensible, and then they suddenly said, "Hey, I think something supernatural is going on," I'd be like, "All right, that seems unlikely, but I'm going to hear you out because I trust you."
I don't.
That gross just threw me down the stairs. Yeah, that's. I mean, as far as excuses go for being clumsy, it's pretty perfect, I'll be honest. But yeah, it's not a great trope, I don't think. But that's an unusual take, though. I didn't see that one get particularly well liked, I'll be honest. So Too Much is a bit of an obscure pull.
I mean, kind of like everyone I talked to, sort of like they enjoyed. Like, I wouldn't say anyone kind of like said, "Oh my god, I love this film," but it was just kind of like, it was just a little bit of fun, really. It wasn't. It didn't wow. Yeah. It didn't do anything particularly clever, but what it did, I just thought it did very well.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Anybody else catch that one, Too Much?
Sadly not.
I did. It's very melodramatic. It's very soap opera. It was fun from that respect. You know, jilted wife comes back to take vengeance on new girlfriend, but just for the life of me, I couldn't work out why these women bothered with this man.
That is fair.
Such a dishwasher of a, you know, it's just like, why, ladies, like, bin him off, you guys get together. It was just, yeah, it was one of those films where, because it's always your way, you know, women are always told to, you know, it's never the man's fault that he cheated, it's the other woman, and this was just that film kind of, you know, reinforcing that. So that frustrated me greatly. I would have liked different treatment of him.
I do get that, and it's like, there was a few bits where I was like, okay, girl, I kind of get why you're haunting her, but also you really should be haunting him. Like, pull some of this on him, because he's the one who really deserves it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can say spoiler, but it does happen in the end, and he ends up in a dress, and
he looked good in that dress. Like, he actually looked pretty good in that dress, I gotta say.
Yeah, it works for him. Yeah, he's called Sheev as well, which is like so many times I heard that name. It just buried in my head. Imagine
losing your mind over a guy called Cheeve.
Nothing against people called Steve either, by the way. So don't think that this is me. But that's one of those
It sounds like
things.
a posh version of chive. Oh, I'm Chieve.
Hi, I'm Chief.
Potato and potato. Nobody says potato.
No.
And nobody says
It's my
chief.
potato and chief casserole.
Meat and potato
Yes.
pie. You have to do it with an accent, though, don't you? You can't just do it in like a northern. It's like potato.
Okay, so moving to Faye, your first pick.
Well, I believe I think I put them in order. I think my first was actually Redux Redux, but very close was, and I apologise if I'm slaughtering this name because I'm sure to. Viljar Boe. Am I saying that right, Kat? I don't think I am. Don't
know. We need to ask Darren. I just write it down. I never say it out loud.
I think it's Viljar Boe or Viljar Boe who did Good Boy a few years ago. It's his latest.
Right.
Yeah, well, you see, so again, as with
Norwegian dude, yeah.
So as with Redux Redux, not a massive fan of Good Boy. I enjoyed it, but I think I wanted something else out of it. This one, however, oh my God, outstanding, fantastic. It's basically about a guy who has, I don't want to call them fantasies because that's reductive, but he essentially wants to get rid of his leg. He doesn't feel like he can live with his limb and wants to get rid of it. And he ends up meeting this like-minded lady who pretends to be blind. And it's all about him eventually cutting his leg off and his journey up to that and how he can make it like an accident, him struggling with his feelings and the psychology of it all. The reasons he wants it are the different reasons to why the girl wants it. And it's played so spectacular. The story's brilliant. And yeah, it absolutely blew me away. Loved it.
Sounds horrifying.
It's not. It's really not. Yeah. That's the thing. It's handled very well because it's essentially I would call it a condition. Yeah, it's like I don't want to say mental, but it is kind of a mental illness, and it's not played for laughs. It's not done in a gruesome way. It's very matter of fact. I want to do this. This is how I'm going to do it, and it's all leading up to the most interesting parts are him coming to terms with it and exactly how he wants to approach it. That's the best thing about it. It's not the actual chopping off of the leg or doing whatever. It's the entire. It's the idea behind it. And the guy who played I think it's called Singh. Again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Freddie Singh.
Thank you. Yes, Freddie Singh. He was amazing in that role. It was fantastic. Just so subtle, nothing over the top. Wasn't like struggling with his feelings in a pantomime way. It was just done really, really well. Yeah. Not as good as you think. That's all.
Yeah. Probably a lot more watchable than I think it was last year's Scandi movie, The Innocents, which was just. Was that a Fright Fest?
It was a few years ago at Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was traumatic. But yeah, I think the thing with Above the Knee is the premise makes it sound extreme horror, and it's going to bring in like the edgelordy people. But in reality, it's much more about, as Faye said, this man coming to terms with. I think they say he has BID, body identity disorder. So it's kind of, on the same wavelength as body dysphoria and stuff. And he basically it's this condition where people just believe that part of them isn't actually part of them. So he's got this leg, but it doesn't feel like it's his leg. It feels like it's like a foreign entity. So he needs to get it off. He can't live with this thing that shouldn't be on him. And yeah, his journey is fascinating because it is more about that, because he's, he knows that if he just chops his leg off, he's probably going to end up, in a mental institution. But he wants to live. He wants to live his life without this foreign body. So he's got a planet so it looks like an accident. So he's planning what the accident could be, and who's going to witness that it was an accident. And I think for me, it's as well as the preparation, it's the fact that when he is on his own, he does live his life with one leg. Like he's got a wheelchair and he's always tucking his leg underneath, like underneath his knee. And yeah, it's really, I think it's just a really fascinating thing, because this is obviously a condition that I think does affect some people, and they handle it in a really interesting. It reminded me in a lot of weird ways of Prevenge. And it's not quite as humorful as Prevenge, but it's kind of got that same tone to it in a way.
Also, it has the most supportive friendship I've seen of any film.
Yes.
His best friend in it is just completely understanding, straight away on board. Like, maybe he wants to help him at first and, you know, calls a medical professional and said, this is happening, he needs help. But once he recognizes that he doesn't want that, he's fully on board for like, okay, what do you want to do? It keeps him in a job, even when he's skiving off and going off to do these preparations, I guess, for getting his leg off, and still stays friends with him after the fact. Never seen it like it.
Sounds a little bit like Phantom Limb Syndrome as well. That sort of thing.
I think it's all in that arena, or you know, it all comes from the same place, I think. But
isn't there also a condition where you believe that your body is dead? Essentially, kind of like you.
I think so. Yeah.
Like that sort of rings a bell. That kind of made it ring a bell for me. That it's like it's like you think that your body is rotting, essentially.
Well, this does happen in the film as well. You do start to see his leg go black in his head, go black from the bottom. It's not actually rotting, but he thinks it's rotting. So yeah, he does touch upon that as well. I should have said that, really.
I mean, honestly, I imagine that would be a horrifying condition to be living with.
Yeah. But well worth your time. It's fantastic.
I feel I'm going very lowbrow now with my next pick, which I was sort of 50-50 with, because it was the first time I saw The Descent, and that was brilliant.
Hey,
but
that was great to watch on the big screen. Like,
it is.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
Kind of redundant to bring it up. I feel like it should be about new movies. This.
Just quickly, Rob, how did you feel about Juno in that film? Do you think she got what she deserved, or do you think she had it a bit too hard?
It's a bit harsh.
Is it?
I mean, she did kill somebody, but it wasn't like it was an intentional thing. It was, you know, the heat of the moment.
Yeah, but she was cheating. So, I mean, I'm not saying you deserve to die if you cheat. Of course, I'm not saying that, but
not like that. Especially not like that.
No.
That's cruel.
Wait till you see The Descent too.
Very, very bad things like that one.
You get some closure. Don't worry, you get some closure in The Descent.
I mean, I wouldn't want the closure though, because I kind of like that there is no kind of easy answer to the that, like, there's no tidiness to those characters. I like that about The Descent.
I love The Descent.
The other one I was going to mention was Marshmallow, which I really liked, and it's a movie I can't really say a lot about.
No, that's kind of it's a funny one in that regard.
In essence, it's a summer camp horror movie in which the kids are the actual target, because in a lot of those movies it's the counselors or what have you when the kids have all gone. But in this, it's like where the line is, what you talk about here. A bunch of kids, all the kids are great. There's a bully called CJ who's not just a bully, he's properly psychotic. And it has like a nice summertime vibe, and it's all based around this idea that apparently in that park many years ago there was not necessarily a serial killer, but just a bad egg called the Doctor who did stuff and did procedures on people. And I mean, it's a horror movie that absolutely happens. I'm not going to tell you the twist there, but I really enjoyed it. It's the vibe is great. The summertime vibe is absolutely wonderful.
Good summertime
it's
vibes.
One of these movies.
It definitely plays with what you expect of summer camp horror, I think, in a few places quite effectively.
The only caveat I'd have is it kind of talks itself out of having a great ending a little bit.
Yeah, like I would say kind of I don't think the ending goes as far as it could have.
Talking around it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, talking around it. But in terms of, like, I feel like it could have done a little bit more, but I think it takes some great swings, and honestly, I admire it for, trying stuff, basically.
I think without spoiling the film, and from what, because I saw it at Culture Shock and not at Frightfest.
Okay.
And I think the ending of it is just the start. If we saw full blown panic, I guess, then I might be a bit like, a bit like Weapons end where it all goes mental. I kind of like that it's kind of contained and it gives room for but this could be happening. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it though because it is fantastic.
Yeah.
We are really
just very rare.
Talking around the whole thing.
Well,
very rare to have a summer camp horror.
It's such a special flip that I wouldn't want to ruin it for anybody if you hadn't seen it.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I am a bit of a sucker for a good summer camp horror.
Yeah, they're so rare.
I appreciate its Amblin charm. It feels very much like an 80s Amblin movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I think I caught it at Panic Fest, I want to say. And yeah, it's very, doesn't go where you expect. And like Rob said, just the fact that it's the kids who are having to deal with what is happening rather than the counselors was a very like interesting idea because we've all seen about a bazillion Friday the 13th films, and it's always like, but what about the kids? And now we know what about the kids.
Yeah, and it does it with a visually interesting thing as well. It's not just some guy with a knife. It's like a taser bar thing, which is just a nice visual for it to have, and a great poster. Absolutely.
Yes, the poster is very good.
Although I did leave it.
They were giving away for free. Yeah, they were giving away the poster for free, but it was fucking massive.
Yeah,
and I had the space to take that. I mean, I only had to get like one train home, and it's like, nah, not with my suitcase and my kit. Sorry, Marshmallow poster.
Okay, so a second time around, Kat, what else do you have?
I am gonna go with a film that probably nobody else saw. I'm gonna go with Matt Stewart's Human, which was a world premiere. It is the second film from Matt, and it's very much a film of 3 acts and 3 tones. So it stars Jackie Kelly as Danny. She is an indie actress, and she is currently sleeping on the set of her current movie to keep the costs down. And it's midnight and she's bored. And so she's like texting a friend who's going to maybe come over so they can go partying. But then kind of like a one night stand from the past slides into the DMs. So she's like chatting with him. And the entire first 20 minutes is just screen life of these characters like flirting, and then aside chatting to a mate going, oh my god, guess who's talking to me, which I think is something that a lot of people can relate to. And then suddenly we're into Peter Jackson, Sam Raimi, Brain Dead, Evil Dead territory, where there's somebody outside the studio and Danny, is being besieged. And is suddenly there is just so many bodily fluids, just so much, just everywhere. This poor woman. There is so the special effects were done by the cinematographer, which I thought was quite interesting because this is like a super low budget production. So everybody had about 10 hats. So David Pitt did the cinematography and the special effects, and I think they're friends with Jackie, and they worked with her in a previous movie where they messed her up, and they were like, "Hey Jackie, is this like the messiest you've ever been?" And she's like, "Nah, not even close." So they made it their mission with Human to top whatever had been done in the past, and they basically spent 2 days just pouring fake blood and feces and vomit and all sorts all over her, and I think they got their way. But then, and it's just it's like gut burstingly gnarly with the gore and everything, and then suddenly, in the final act, we're philosophizing, and yeah, it's one of those films that you're like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I like the vibe, but it's a stellar performance from Jackie Kelly, because it's basically her on her own having all of this havoc. I mean, just the fact that she can hold the screen for 20 minutes while she's texting. She's not saying anything, she's texting, and you just see the occasional shot of her face reacting. For her to go from that to Lady Ash, to then, philosophizing about what it means to be human, with this thing that's like set upon her, is just, yeah, I think it was on sort of like early-ish on the Friday, so I'm not sure how many people got to the screening, but it's one I think to keep an eye on, because it is so insane. It's kind of a film for several people. Whether those people will make it from the start to the end or not remains to be seen. But I guess if you've got an eclectic taste in horror like I have, it's a lot of fun.
Okay. If it was Friday morning, that was probably when I was watching Dog of God, which that's a heck of a movie to watch first thing in the morning.
A lot of cock.
So much. Like,
Did
yeah.
you say a lot of cock? Is that what you just said? Oh,
Yeah.
Did you not see Dog of God, Faye?
Oh,
so much cock.
Like my review of Dog of God is, it's fucking weird and it's weird fucking.
Oh, that were what I pictured from it. I was thinking kind of like I don't know, an animated martial arts sci-fi kind of thing. Not
It was Latvian as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
So,
the
like,
two
did
chaps
that
who made
lovely
it were
Floor
lovely.
movie,
They
like
were
a few,
really great guys.
yeah.
But yeah, they it's this kind of like medieval thing, and it's supposedly based on a werewolf trial, but it's really not. It's just like a whole lot of very weirdness.
Real peen or fake peen?
Well, I mean, animated.
It was rotoscoped.
Yeah.
So there would have been
Was it animated?
a performance.
Yeah, it was animated.
Yeah, it was rotoscoped.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost got a bit of a Ralph Bakshi edge
it.
to it.
That was an odd
somebody
slot then.
performed it, and then they animated over the top of it. So
those two things.
I'm asking these questions like I might go seeking it out. I probably won't, because I'm not like cock mad, if that's what we're thinking.
I mean, it's like I watched it because like a little while ago I was like, I should watch more weird animated movies, and the universe heard me.
That is an odd programming slot then, if those two things are going against each other.
First thing on a Friday morning, it's like I'm watching it stone cold sober. My mate Ione is next to me, hungover, and we both kind of had the same reaction of what the hell.
Oh man!
I mean, I think Human was slightly later. I think it was at the lunchtime slot. But given that second act, lunchtime, second act, look, guys.
Definitely some interesting timing choices this year, I think.
Yeah, I think I've got a screener for Human, so hopefully that's still active, because it sounds fun. That, I mean, I say fun, it sounds like you kind of just stop and need to take a break for 5 minutes after you're watching it, because that was a lot. One of those sorts of movies.
Lots of tonal whiplash, but good. Worked. There was lots of sort of really the use of color in the lighting really worked. The synth score, it was basically sort of like half cat on a page and then half not me, but it won me over.
The color. There was another movie with a lot of color. Is it a bit more manageable than that one, than Jimmy and Stig's?
Oh yeah, my eyes didn't melt. It's fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good. And just for sort of the clarity, he's everything you think he'd be when you see him in person, Joe Begos. So yeah, he's keeping the 80s rock and roll spirit alive, I guess.
He knows how to party.
He is.
He really does.
Yeah, he is / He's the filmmaker version of Slash, and I love him dearly, even if he did keep me out way past my bedtime.
Sarah, are you going with Dog of God for your second pick?
No, actually, I'm going to kind of basically drag things right the way down to the lowbrow, and my second one is Toxic Avenger. Again, like, it was the big Friday night film, and I just had a blast with it. I'm not really familiar with the original. Although, does anyone remember Toxic Crusaders? Kind of like the early 90s cartoon. It was like part of that whole. There was that whole weird trend of making cartoons about that were basically based on R-rated movies.
Yeah,
Like,
Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
as well,
Beetlejuice,
Ghostbusters.
RoboCop, the Police Academy films, and yeah, there was this Toxic Avenger cartoon called Toxic Crusaders, and my brothers had some of the toys from it, including like this like dog who had a crazy long tongue kind of thing. But so that was my only familiarity with Toxic Avenger before this. But I mean, it's directed by Macon Blair, who as an actor, he's in a lot of Jeremy Saulnier movies. Probably saying that name wrong. Like he's like he's a great supporting actor. And also, side note, if you haven't seen Jeremy Saulnier's Murder Party, like big recommend on that one. That is like a great underseen Halloween film, I think. And yeah, I think Macon plays a werewolf in it, or a guy dressed as a werewolf in any case. So he directs Toxic Avenger, and it's interesting because before he becomes the Toxic Avenger, our main character, he is played by Peter Dinklage, and he's voiced by Peter Dinklage afterwards, but he is played physically by an actress called Luisa Guerrera, who was at the screening, and she seems like really cool. But just kind of the two of them together, like, they do a great job. And it's just fun. It's dumb, it's silly, it's violent, maybe not quite as violent as some people are hyping it up to be, but it's just
on that. You
it's
said it
fun.
was unreleasable because it was so violent.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm doubting that, but it's just a bit of daft, silly fun. You've got Kevin Bacon doing his villain thing. You've got Elijah Wood playing a weird little dude, which he does a lot these days. And
yes, the penguin.
Yeah, it's kind of the penguin, but Elijah Wood's career these days is playing weird little guys, and I support him fully for it.
Hey, he's got that Lord of the Rings money. He can do whatever he wants these days.
Exactly. And yeah, it's just a load of fun. That's basically it. And it was a good one to watch with a crowd. Definitely a few of the kills got some fun reactions, and yeah, I just had an unabashedly good time with it.
My number 2 was also Toxic Avenger, or my number 3, whichever one it was. But also, same as Sarah, I didn't really know the original Toxic Avenger. So this were all kind of new to me. I know some people who are familiar with it were complaining that, or not complaining, but commenting that there wasn't enough in-jokes from the first or references. But if you don't know, that doesn't really bother you. Yeah, it was stupid, fun, and hilarious.
Oddly specific thing to complain about.
Yeah, well, you know,
promo people.
You know what people are like. But yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it was. The film was also like the Odeon sort of like mystery screening on the Monday after Frightfest, and I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is the worst possible choice ever. If it's going to be this, I'm walking out and cancelling my Odeon membership." I'm like, that's a weirdly extreme reaction to this film, which, you know, it's no different than like Deadpool in terms of tone.
Yeah. In fact, it's exactly like Deadpool in terms of its feel and stuff. I don't get if there's any sort of hate for it. I don't understand it. It was such a fun time, and I think some people need to stop being cinema snobs and just, you know, enjoy seeing a guy get his head ripped off by a toxic mop. Because
and like
you can't enjoy that.
a little evil metal band, one of whom is just a dude constantly doing unnecessary parkour for no reason.
Okay. Well, that's a choice.
I'll just also add to the Macon Blair. I love that dude. Every time he pops up in something, I'm like, yes, a wild Macon appears. Love him.
If you've not seen Blue Ruin, I would recommend Blue Ruin. It's a wonderful movie.
I think that's the only one of his films I haven't seen actually. But I mean, he's great. Yeah, Green Room. Like, oh man, I'm long overdue a rewatch of Green Room. Like, it's so good.
It's tough.
So I did watch, when I watched Toxic Avenger, I did watch the original in the morning, and then I went to a screening in the afternoon of the new one. There are some in things. These people just haven't like watched it recently enough to notice them. They are very deeply hidden for the most part. And yeah, there's like a main character missing from the original, but the Trauma, I think, was very much of its time in the 80s, and I think what they've done here has made it a lot more accessible to cinema goers. It feels much more like a Sin City revenge sort of film than the silly campy Trauma film that inspired it. And yeah, the dual performance of Louisa and Peter, I saw it before there was any of this, like before they revealed that it was two different people, and I would have never been able to tell. And Signature were kind enough to ask me to introduce Toxic Avenger. Yeah, Louisa was just incredible, because we had like thrust upon us at the last minute, you're going to do a giveaway, you're going to do an introduction, there's going to be an on-screen introduction by Macon, and she just rolled with it. And I think in those 3 or 4 minutes that she was on stage, she won the entire over. And I think without her, that the reaction to the film wouldn't have been as fun. I think she really helped like get everyone hyped up for what they're about to see, because she herself seen it yet. I mean, this film was released at Fantastic Fest 2 years ago. She wasn't able to make that screening, so she had to wait like 2-3 years after she performed to see what it was like, which is just wild to me.
Yeah, she was an absolute delight. Like,
where are we now? Faye, so I think it's your second run now.
My second run was Toxic Avenger.
Oh, so you shared it. Okay.
I did have Redux Redux, Toxic Avenger, and Above the Knee. I could throw in also, if it's not too last minute, Portal to Hell.
Good shout.
It sounds like it's going to be it was late night slot. I say late night, 11:15, I think it was something, 11:15. It sounds like it's going to be your typical, keep everybody awake after they've had a beer. Hey, let's see some demons in hell. Absolutely not that at all. Lovely. Such a lovely film. Such a great tale of like ethics and community. Oh, fantastic film. Basically, guy works for a telemarketing company, debt claiming. Is that right word? Debt claiming debts back anyway. And
medical debt, yeah,
debt collector essentially, but over the phone. And he's getting some crap from customers. He's not hitting his targets. He's not getting the money, but he's a good guy, so he doesn't want to kind of like force it. So he goes and does his laundry at this laundromat, and there happens to be a portal to hell in one of the washers, and it's just accepted straight away. It's like, oh yeah, there's a portal to hell, sure. And they find out that this demon that's come out of it, voiced by, I can never remember
Richard
his
Kind.
name. Thank you.
Richard Kind. Yes.
Because when I first heard it, I was like, that's Bing Bong. That sounds like Bing Bong.
It is Bing Bong. Yes.
Bing Bong. So he finds out that he's going to take his neighbour, played by, I'm relying on everybody
Keith
else.
David.
Thank you very much.
Keith David.
Who he believes is a good guy. He says, like, I don't want him to go to hell. So he makes a bargain with this devil and says, what can I do to keep him out of going to this place? And he says, okay, bring me 3 souls. And he's like, well, I've never murdered anybody. I don't know what I'm doing. And it's him trying to find the right people to feed the portal to hell to keep his neighbour out of hell. And like I won't spoil it, but the ultimate message is so damn lovely. And I got a bit teary at the end. It was lovely. Brilliant film.
Richard Kind is so funny in that movie as well.
Oh, he
I've
is.
not seen that from him really, because he's not the sort of person you'd expect to voice a demon, really, is
No.
he? He's Bing Bong.
Bing
I
Bong's a
kind of like
demon.
He is now.
They don't fully show him as a demon for a lot of the time either. When you see him, it's kind of blurred, which I like, because that could either be there's not a lot of money to do a proper good looking demon, so hiding it from you, or it could be it's kind of his, not his imagination, but how he sees it might be different to how we see it. So it could be done two very clever ways. But yeah, brilliant film.
Yeah, I like.
Oh, I knew what I was
It's a
talking
good
about then,
flick,
Rob. I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
yeah.
Just being honest.
It's a fun movie. Part of the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good comedy horror, but it's not like your usual comedy horror. It's more of a drama, which is just funny.
It's not your all-out gore kind of comedy that you would expect
No.
for that slot or that name. That the name to it is very suggestive that it's going to be a kind of like way balanced kind of film, and it isn't at all. No. Lovely film.
Hey, do you see that one, Kat?
I did. I sort of echo the sentiment that's already been said. You know, the premise makes it sound like, okay, this is going to be some wacky, fun, midnight madness, and it kind of starts off as that a little bit where they're like feeding people to the pool, but that third act is just an emotional like sucker punch. And I mean, I watched it like on a Saturday morning. I can't fathom watching it at that time of night, particularly like a day or two to the festival when I'd already be like quite fragile from tiredness. So yeah, again, it's I don't know what the programmers were doing this year, because I want my midnight film to like leave me feeling like hey and not like ah. So, but yeah, it took me by surprise. I thought I knew what I was getting into when I sat down to watch it, and I was not expecting where it went. But I mean, I too would probably, I think a lot of the horror community would do whatever to try and save Keith David.
Yeah.
Very true.
He's
Very
great.
true.
Yeah.
No, I unfortunately missed that one, but I have heard I've heard good things about it from like other people and now you guys. So if it does materialize on streaming or something, it's definitely one I wanna check out.
Definitely
I think
do.
it'd do well on streaming. Part of the hell, yeah.
Also, props for it being the first film in years that has kept me awake at a midnight screening. I always nap, always fall asleep, and it kept me wide awake. So good for you guys.
One that I'll pick next, Hellcat. I saw it for Fantasia, but I'm glad that it got a screening here. Here's another one which I can basically not really reveal the whole picture for. But in essence, it's about a young woman who wakes up and she's in a sort of a silver bullet caravan being trolled off by a disembodied voice of a man who's taken her somewhere to be seen. You do find out what happens eventually, but it's one of these movies that you've seen a lot of in COVID, where it's just a very contained location. And those movies during COVID were like, yes, you kind of written yourself into a corner here, as far as it all being in one room. But here it does that, but it sort of expands the picture outwards, and it becomes something quite interesting with its monster movie sort of archetype, I think. But yeah, it's a really good character piece. It keeps the mystery going about what's going on, and it changes its dynamic on quite a few occasions because she's held captive, and then she eventually finds somebody else who's held captive there too, and it's red herrings all over the place. It does some very interesting stuff within that very contained space, I think. I can't really reveal where it goes, but yeah, it's an interesting drama horror, I think.
So the interesting thing is, it was another one that I hosted, and in the Q&A they revealed that in the script, what we're talking around is literally like sentence one, and then they decided during the filming and editing process that they wanted to keep that hidden. So the auditioning actors knew exactly what sort of movie this was going to be. But during the edit process, the director was like, no, it works better if we kind of like hold off. So I thought that was quite an interesting way to go. What I love about Hellcat is the sound design. So it's this woman trapped in the back of a trailer, and you feel like you're trapped in the back of that trailer with her. The way that they've worked the Foley and everything, you can hear the china plates and cups like rattling as it's like hitting stuff on the road. It's not hitting stuff on the road. It's just like a stationary unit with some man wobbling it as they're filming it, but you fully believe that she is traveling at speed to God knows where.
Yeah, it's little details as well. It's got a radio show quite near the end, which is the oddest little radio show. Apparently, people are phoning up with all of their sort of supernatural happenings, which is a lovely little bit of world building. I mean, is that normal in America? I don't know, but it's a lovely little bit of world building to have a radio show where you say, I saw a Bigfoot or something.
I mean, they used to. I don't know if there probably still is like radio shows like that, but it used to be a thing called might still be around, called Coast to Coast, where people would kind of call in with their ghost stories and things like that. So it was definitely a thing.
And that one is going to get a release because I think Bluefinch have that one, if I remember correctly.
Bluefinch are the sales agent, and Bluefinch stuff tends to always get some sort of release.
Yeah. Okay, so just sort of free for all, really. Any other sort of things that happened? Movies. I don't just mean like you saw a weird guy in the street and then you try to avoid him and then you walk straight into his path.
Wonder who that was.
Nothing like that.
I mean,
any other movies, picks?
Well, we had
anybody go to the short film things? I've never been to one of those.
No, I didn't quite manage to get to any of those this year.
Before, oh gosh, what was it before? It wasn't Jimmy and Stiggs. I cannot remember what it was before, but we got 22 minutes of The Long Walk.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't remember what it wasn't Jimmy and Stiggs, but it was kind of like the afternoon film.
Was it before the cult one?
Before
Self-Help.
Yeah, was it before Self-Help?
Yes,
it's definitely on the Saturday.
Yeah, no, because it was like I didn't really like Self-Help that much, and then the fact that it came after that, which was really good, really just kind of bummed me out a bit. But no, yeah,
the
new Stephen King film.
Oh, because in it, I think there's a Matty Doe movie from like Laos that's called that as well. So it's a little.
But yeah, no, the first 20 minutes of this, it's directed by Francis Lawrence, who did a lot of the Hunger Games films, and it's like the near future kind of dystopic America where 50 young boys have to just walk until only one of them is left, and we got like the first 20 minutes or so of that. So it's really kind of like you really kind of like settle into a good chunk of the film.
And I was ready for the rest of it as well. Like when it finished, I was like, I wish I would watch the rest of that now.
Right. and no, but then you just watched this kind of very kind of culty film by I believe that was from the same guys who did She Comes from the Woods, which I didn't like that film either, so I don't know why I watched it.
But mind Self-Help, it was all right. I'm not entirely sure what he wanted to say. Really, like at the end of it all, I was like, okay,
yeah.
But I didn't think it was a bad film.
It was just like, for me, it was just like a lot of really wanky psychology, and then sort of situations that any rational person would be like, I'm out, bye, laters.
Wanky psychology.
Okay. So I think I've got to push it into this question. I know what Faye's answer is going to be because she said it numerous times during the weekend. But what was the worst movie?
Selling. Let's settle in, kids, shall we? The thing is, I don't know who listens to this. So do I rein this in or do I just go full pelt?
I think be fair. If you can be fair.
There's no way of being fair. I'm literally having to go back to Letterboxd to look what the actual title is because I can't remember.
I mean, my worst film probably was Self-Help, to be fair.
You did quite well then, if that was your worst with your picks, because there was worse.
I don't doubt it. It's kind of like, I mean, like that. I also saw The Haunted Forest, which is again just meh, and No Seums, which had some really cool ideas, but just the execution was meh.
Mine is The Haunting at Jack the Ripper's house.
Oh, fair.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I heard about this one.
It was made worse because of where I was sat. The cast and crew were behind me, and they were obviously bigging up their own film the whole way through because it's your premiere. Of course, you're going to. You know, I don't begrudge them that, but it was a lot of commentary, a lot. And they were laughing before things were about to happen, so you knew something was going to happen. I mean, not that it was done subtly anyway, because it absolutely wasn't. All the subtlety of sledgehammer in your face. But that is probably that's the worst film I've ever seen at Frightfest. Ever.
Wow, no, okay.
I mean,
wow.
one of the worst ever that I saw. It was I can barely even recall what the title was now, but it was like this really bad kind of like, it was part exorcism movie, part kind of sleep paralysis demon movie, but it was terrible. It made no sense. The acting was awful, and that was one where I was sitting next to the entire cast and crew, and then it got to the Q&A afterwards and no one was asking questions. And then it just sort of turned, but then it sort of turned into just kind of like this whole sort of patting each other on the back thing between the director and the lead actress's dad, and it was really awkward.
I feel bad saying that a film is the worst film I've ever seen at a festival, but someone's got to take that title, right? Somebody has to.
Yeah, I mean, some people will take great pride in that, depending on the people. But you know,
I mean, I say this every time. Every time I say that a film is bad or I don't like it, I will never ever take it away from somebody that they've made a film, because that's impressive. No matter what level it's at, it's impressive to make a film, and that's grand. It just 100% wasn't for me. That's all.
Yeah, and that's been very fair. Yeah.
It don't feel fair, Rob. I feel well. I feel well.
No, you've been fair, I think, there.
So I could be a reviewer full time.
Just quick, my worst was What She Doesn't Know. I thought that was pretty CW grade.
She doesn't know.
Okay, see, I didn't mind that one. I think
What She Doesn't Know.
Yeah,
it was on the.
It was Friday lunchtime.
Yeah, pretty.
It was.
I'm trying to remember what the plot was.
It was like this girl. She goes to hang out with kind of like her friend, and her friend's sort of like.
Oh, Faye, you didn't like it.
Fancy house. And she's trying to avoid telling her friend that she's going off to college, and there's like a killer on the loose in their town.
Yes.
Like that one.
Oh, I didn't hate it until the end. That ending
telegraphed it.
Awful. Yeah.
Saw it coming a mile off, really.
3/4 of a good film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not for me. I think it's just not for me.
Fair enough.
Kat?
I didn't really like The Home, but I saw The Home on my own, and I feel that is a film that you need to see with lots of people, because otherwise it drives you slowly mad. So I know former guest of the show, Naomi, had a wonderful time with it, cackling away at everything that happened in it, but sat at home on my own. It was Pete Davidson is one facial expression.
Absolutely. Fully agree with that. You said that
I can understand that.
It's
like
constantly just I can do it if you can see. Oh, that's constantly Pete Davis throughout this film. Like, why are you looking like that?
I would like to give a quick shout out to some films that we haven't mentioned, just very quickly. So Dooba Dooba by Erland Hollingsworth was a great little found footage film told on security cameras. It's set in 2022, but looks like it was filmed in the 90s. So much tension, just well done. He's like 29. It's his second feature. It's he did well to. I was watching like in broad daylight, like, and it's like I don't feel safe. So he did well with that. Blockhead from Matt Harlock, which was about an author dealing with writer's block who manifests a muse who takes him down a dark path. It's very modern gothic horror. The lead, Danny Horn, started to resemble Harry Treadaway from Penny Dreadful, where he played Dr. Frankenstein. Like the same kind of like wide-eyed eye bags. I mean, just how tired we were. It was nice to see myself represented on screen. Be honest. Mother of Flies, we obviously haven't touched upon. That's the new one from family. It's a companion piece in a way to Bender. Deals with some really, really personal topics for the family. I think John Adams almost had the whole Odeon audience in tears with some of his words.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna shout out for Jimmy and Sticks as well, because I mean Joe Begos loves his neon, loves his colour. He shot it in his own house. Sorry, his own rental. His landlord does not know them. He was up in the attic feeding alien tentacles like through it. He was using a live chainsaw indoors, like hacking parts of himself off, and there wasn't any safety measures in place for that. So he could have genuinely sawn parts of his body off. So I admire that. And also, like, his house still looks the same basically, because the aliens all have like neon, like black light blood and stuff, and he thought it looked cool in his apartment. So it's still there to this day. So I hope he never has to move out, because he's not getting that deposit back.
Joe Begos is the only person I will sit through a film that is actively giving me a headache for, because it was giving me a headache, and I still sat there and persevered. I'm like, nope, I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, it's like I really loved his one from a few years ago, Bliss.
Oh, Bliss is great.
Yeah, like watching that, like, because I believe it was shot on, I want to say 16mm, like film, and watching like this trashy, dirty, neon-soaked vampire movie on like an IMAX screen just felt so beautifully perverse. Like I loved it.
I mean, he's kind of great because after that movie, he couldn't get financing for anything, so he thought, okay, I'm just going to do it myself, and went ahead and just made stuff. You got to respect that sort of
it's such a legend.
creativity.
Yes.
Yeah. Because not many people would do that. A lot of people just give up and say, all right, it's not for me. But
and having lovely Matt Mercer constantly swearing. Because whenever I see Matt Mercer, I'm like, he shouldn't be swearing. Lovely Matt Mercer.
Okay. They are a lovely odd couple. Like I don't think there's much fictionalizing for the film. I think, Matt and Joe are very much an odd couple, and yet Matt always turns up for one of Joe's films, and for the most part lets Joe kill him in horrendous ways, like Christmas Bloody Christmas. He goes out with a bang, and he just everywhere. That's the thing I like about Joe. He's very much embedded in the independent horror scene within Los Angeles, and there's so many people who regular Fright Festers will recognize, like Graham Skippers. He's not in Jimmy and Stiggs, but he's a regular feature, and his editor Josh Ether is in it well, and he just brings all his friends in and just murders them in horrific ways. And I just think that's real pals that are like, yeah, I'll come and like let you horrifically.
I think because they have such a good time with it, that really shows on screen. It really comes across, and I think that's what a lot of people find, for as messed up as they are, endearing about the films, because they are messed up, but it's all done with love. So, yeah,
it's the ones who make Disney movies that you got to worry about.
Oh yeah, you do. It's the rom-com makers you've got to worry about. Richard, I say this every time. Richard Curtis.
He's got like a secret murder basement. Please don't sue me, Richard Curtis. I do not actually think that you have a secret murder basement.
Allegedly. There you go. It's all okay now.
But I definitely want to echo about Mother of Flies, because like the vibes in that are immaculate, like just pure sort of it really is kind of like proper like witchy vibes. And I mean, the Addams Family, it's kind of like they're very much films that you're either on board with or you're not. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the Deeper You Dig But this one I got on a lot more with. Like, I just kind of like, it really is kind of like very beautiful, kind of, I think, what they do with it, and genuinely like really heart-wrenching in a few places as well, and also just visually like pretty great to look at.
I'm sure it'll be a nail on for celluloid screams. I think they'll get it. So hopefully get a chance to watch that when it comes. Yeah.
Well, the Addams family are definitely going to Sheffield. Whether they're going to hang like Lulu did last year when she just rocked up for karaoke,
could you imagine just going from America to Sheffield just to hang out? Like, that's an expensive.
She was Well, I mean, Lulu's in Edinburgh at least, so it's not like it's too far to go. But they definitely said that they will be in Sheffield, so one would assume that means that Mother of Lies is there.
Yeah. So, opinions on the event as a whole. 2025's Frightfest. Good.
I mean, I think they had a fantastic host. At least 8 of their films.
Yes, I can honestly. Let's praise the host this year. One in particular. Kat did brilliantly this year. She did fantastic.
Yeah.
I did want to whoop for you every time, Kat, but I thought, no, I'm going to be a professional. Sit back and watch.
Yeah, that was like. I think the first time I went on, there was lots of people that were like, "Ooh, okay." Like, but like we have to get the word out to the the directors that audiences want a bit of diversity. As good as the guys are, and they've been doing it for 25 years. I think it wasn't just myself that did screenings this year. They also had Mike Hewitt, who used to work for Arrow, and Jamie Graham, formerly of Total Film. They had a lot of different people hosting different screenings across the festival, and I feel that it was just better, and I think it led to better Q&As rather than the guys who are doing like 70 between like 3 or 4 of them. They don't have time to prep any film specific questions. It has to just be where did you think of this? What's next? And so like reaching out to other film people. Anton Patel was another one that did like an introduction. I feel that for the paying customers, that is kind of what you want to see instead of rinse and repeat.
Absolutely.
They're going to ask this question.
I think the thing is as well that the people, I mean, yourselves and Jamie and Anton and everyone who's been doing it, who did it this year, I think you come from a place of fandom as well. So it's not like whereas the Fright Fest guys, they pick the films, you guys actually take it and watch it and take it in. And I think it's nice to see because the questions are so much more personal and it's nothing against them. It's nothing against the guys who do the interviews at all. I just think it's refreshing to see it. So yeah, you're absolutely bang on with that. Keep suggesting it. Keep getting people doing that.
Yeah. Any other comments on, well, whether it was a good, classic, or indifferent year?
I'll be honest. There wasn't a lot of standout ones for me, but there were very few bad ones. Very few. Like it seems to be quite a consistent standard this year of really good films. And normally you get a few where you go, oh, they were really, really good, and that one was amazing. But this time it was all a bit more mid, but that's good. I prefer that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes it is great to like have like a few sort of like really kind of like extreme, like extreme, like ones you can really feel kind of like yeah or oh hell no. But this year, yeah, it was consistent. But that is the thing. I think the best thing I watched all weekend that wasn't The Descent was the 20 minutes of The Long Walk, kind of thing. And I mean, it's a testament to how well that The Descent has held up for over 20 years. But yeah, I mean, yeah, even the movies I really, really liked and I will watch again, but I wouldn't say there's anything that I'm like, oh, that's an all-time, an all-time Fright Fest watch kind of thing. Like, nah.
I think it gave more opportunity for hanging this year. I liked hanging with friends a lot more and doing, it felt a bit more chilled, a bit more relaxed. And sometimes it's been a mad year for me. Sometimes you need that. You need to chill. What did you think, Rob, as your first ever in-person Fright Fest?
Hugely overwhelmed. I didn't know what was going on. But I mean, I guess that's just the case. I mean, I wrote a few articles about it, And the line I had was the first one's sort of just feeling it out, and the second one's your real first one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you know what you're doing, you know where you need to be. It's not just, this is central London, there's a lot of people here. Look, there's a murder over there.
There was a point where I was in the Phoenix and I saw you, Rob. You were over near the corner, and I was going to come over and talk to you, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was so steaming drunk. I was like, I probably shouldn't because I'm really drunk.
You're okay.
Now.
You're okay. It's just the first time in London for 15 years as well, so it was a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. No, I only went to the Phoenix once this year, and that was karaoke night. Although by the time I got there, I got there straight after Redux Redux, and the link for the karaoke didn't work because there was too many people had already signed up, kind of thing. I stayed there for a bit, but it kind of sometimes it just got to a point where it was just like being surrounded by a wall of sound.
Yeah,
and I'm nah, can't be doing this anymore.
Eventually, you fine tune your ear out of that, don't you? I tend to find a corner where I can just about hear people talking, but it is very loud and it's very overwhelming. I get it.
Yeah, it's far too loud. I mean, I think I went there every night, on afterwards, and a few nights as well. But on the Monday night, it just seemed so much louder on the Monday night, even though there weren't as many people there. So I just went and stood outside all night talking to people out there because I could actually hear them. So yeah, the Phoenix could do with. I understand the mentality is if you make it loud, people have to drink, which means that they get more money through the till. But
you're going to get that anyway with Frightfest people.
Well, exactly. And the whole point is to give people a chance to, meet the filmmakers. And because that's the thing that Frightfest does really well. I mean, other festivals like Celluloid do it, but they don't have the same volume as guests because they don't have the same volume as films. The great thing about Frightfest, unlike something like LFF, which is, oh, look, you can see the talent on stage, but now we're going to take them away from you. At Frightfest, filmmakers, attendees all go to the place afterwards. They all go to the same place in between films. They're all hanging around, and you can just go and have a conversation. And I met a lot of people I always try and sort of get to know people. I tend to have interviewed them before the festival starts, so I'm that familiar face, which is sometimes a blessing and then sometimes a curse. But it's just nice to have the opportunity to get to know people, and I got to know some guys this year who I'm certain I'll still be in touch with. And a couple of years ago, there's a filmmaker that I still hop on a Zoom with every now and again just for a chat. And films have been made. Joe Lynch and Paddy Murphy had a chat years ago outside Frightfest. Paddy was a struggling director. Joe had obviously had a few films and he was feeling a bit down. He was talking to Joe, and Joe told him, don't give up. He went home, wrote a film that week, and then 2 years later, it screened at Frightfest. It's the nice, Phoenix is loud, but it is this magical place where connections are made, and then you get future Frightfest projects. But just turn your volume down just a little bit.
It was overwhelming, but it was enough to get me interested. I'll say that much. So it's not like it scared me off and I'm going to, run away to my hole up north and never come back.
Have you done Celluloid before, Rob?
That was my first ever film festival.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been teaching in the ways of Celluloid, Faye, don't worry.
That wasn't the smartest decision he ever made. Sort of a few months before, I said, you know what, I should probably do Frightfest. That would be a good idea, and not plan anything at all. And then, as I complained about all weekend, have a horrible hotel I got a cold from because it was so warm.
You were in the Zedwell, yeah?
The Capsule Hotel.
Yeah, Mercer was in that as well. Yeah.
It's a Japanese idea where you're basically in a shoebox with a shutter on the side. And I slept with the air conditioner on all weekend, and that's not clever apparently because that's how you get a cold.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I said, you got to plan these things, not just decide arbitrarily and then do it.
But you did it,
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah, the first one's the hardest one, as with ever with these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should come down for a Soho Horror Festival sometime. That's a really fun one.
Yeah, I don't know if I can afford to multiple visits to London in a year.
Celluloid's a good medium. It's all in one place. It's in Sheffield, so it's not London prices, and everyone's in the same screen, film after film after film.
You've got a bar right
Filmmakers,
outside, so yeah, fantastic.
yeah, cafe, restaurant, bar. It's
2 hours away as well, which is much better than
And the karaoke on the Sunday as well isn't too loud. It's not like Phoenix karaoke. You can get a seat and you can hear people, and it's really good celluloid.
As far as Uncut, this isn't a full-blown return for the series because, planning these episodes, it's been a bit tricky so far for season 5. But we'll be back pretty soon. Stay tuned to socials, I guess, for a bit more of an announcement on that one. But in the meantime, each of you, where can we find you and the stuff you do? Kat, where can we find yourself?
So I am at Blue Sky, cathughes.bsky.social, and I am on Letterboxd and Instagram at Gizmo Shikari. There's links to the variety of podcasts and writing that I do in all of those places.
Sarah?
I can be found on Blue Sky, sarahjomiles.bluesky.social, and on Letterboxd, Sarah Jo Smiley.
Yes, and Faye?
Once again, she doesn't know because she doesn't prep for these things. I'm on Blue Sky at fayebeline.bsky.social. We don't have our pod at the moment, but if you want to listen to our back episodes of I Spit on Your Grades, it's Spit Grades on that horrible X site. That's where all the stuff is.
Yeah, it's really horrible these days.
Awful. Just bob in, have a listen to that, bob out. Don't stick around. Bad neighbourhood.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, stay tuned to anything related to the Geek Show. Check out all the Frightfest footage we had at thegeekshow.co.uk. Follow me on social media, Uncut Robcast, I should say, on Instagram and Blue Sky, and there'll be some announcement about when this series returns proper, but not just yet. This is a dabble, a taster, a little, freebie. But yes, until next time, thank you very, very much for listening.